There it goes.
You are in the free speech zone. No safe spaces allowed. Nightcaps with Nate.
Coming to you live from just outside the swamp of the nation's capital. Get ready for invigorating talk, commentary, and debate on the issues affecting your life. Grab your favorite drink. It's Nightcaps with Nate. Now, here's Nate.
Hey, welcome to Nightcaps with Nate. This is Nate. It is a Thursday evening, and I have, of course, with me Kareem and Natalie, who are both on. Plus, tonight's a very special night. We are going to do a drawing tonight. Make sure to start your own watch parties, by the way. We're trying to spread the word. As we hit the summer months, it may start slowing down. Hey, Amber, how you doing? Subscribe to Nightcaps with Nate on YouTube. There was a glitch on YouTube. I checked with YouTube to make sure that I wasn't getting banned or something because all my videos are showing that I don't have any content on there, but apparently there is a real live issue going on with YouTube at the moment. So let's get straight into our $100 live drawing for the 100 subscribers. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing. I'm going to have my assistant, actually, I got my hat full of all the things there, and Whitley, my producer, is actually going to reach in, grab me a name, grab one. I already shuffled them all up. All right, thank you. Here, take that away. Don't need that in front of me. And the winner. So here's how it's going to go, is that we are going to announce the winner, and then that winner is going to have 24 hours to submit to the Nightcaps and Nate page, either through messaging, proof that they actually own this channel, and that could be a screenshot of them inside the channel studio thing. That way I know that it's actually yours and you're not just claiming it. All right, in the username, it looks like TK underscore poison, Poison, TK underscore poison. So if that's you, you have 24 hours to send me your information, and then we will send you $100. Thank you for getting us to the 113 likes that we have now. Very proud of it. Today's show, by the way, is brought to you by, I'm on Team Joe with Ali Khamenei, Supreme Leader of Iran, because I think he would rather have Joe Biden than Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is about to kick his ass. So, how's everybody going? How's everybody doing? Kareem's got a new microphone.
Doing well.
Man, doing good, man. I hope y'all hear me clearly tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it'll stay that way, right? And Natalie?
Yeah, that's the goal.
So for the person who won the drawing, what was the username from? Like username to Facebook?
No, I'm sorry,
Or
yes.
username?
That is your username. All I did was I grabbed all the usernames off their YouTube, and then that's how we did it. So, and we did, we cut it off at the 100th person too, so we had to count back 13. That way, because it was the first 100, that way it didn't lessen the odds. Everybody had a 1% chance of winning this thing. So, congratulations to TK underscore poison for winning the $100 to get us there. Maybe we'll do another one to get us to 200. I'm not sure, but in the meantime, we are glad that we have all these subscribers. We are now up to 1,500 likes and follows on our Facebook page, so make sure you go to Nightcaps and Nate. Also, somebody clapping that thing. All right. Yeah. Also, make sure that if you want to interact with our show tonight, you got to go to the Nightcaps and Nate. Yes, a lot of you guys are watching on watch parties, but go to the actual Nightcaps and Nate. Not only should you like and follow, but you can actually comment on the comments, and then we can go from there. So let's get right into our show. Tonight, we are going to get right into some of the nitty-gritty. So, we know that with all these... Hi, Tom. How you doing? With all these... with all this... The Democrats have really locked down their states, but they're also doing something really stupid, in my opinion, and that is that they are releasing even sex offenders from the jail so that those poor sex offenders don't catch coronavirus. I think it's a dumb plan. So in California, it's in Alameda County in late April, a man who was arrested last November in a 22-year-old cold case. So it was a cold case for 22 years. Having been convicted of sexually assaulting 2 women, was released because of coronavirus concerns. Meanwhile, these Democrat governors are locking people up for opening their business. So that's who they value more. Second, Here's 7 people on your screen right now. Over the past 2 weeks, 6 of these 7 offenders were not all 7 were released, but 6 of them have already been sent back to jail for violating the terms of release. Across Illinois, some 146 sex offenders are reported to have been released. In New York, local police decried that state officials had freed inmates, including 8 registered sex offenders, some who were at the highest level 3 of their violations from the Monroe County Jail without prior warning. 9 of the newly let out were moved to Holiday Inn Express in Greece, New York, including 4 of the other sex offenders. So that is the priorities of your Democrat governors. Natalie, you're the liberal.
Oh, I'm so glad you said Natalie start this though.
Well, releasing if the nonviolent offenders, I mean, do we really have that much of a problem with that?
They're sex offenders.
The violent offenders.
A sex offender should automatically be classified.
I don't know.
Hey, what better quarantine than to be in jail?
I would. Well, no, not really. Not if they're all grouped together.
Yeah, but it's not going to get in or out.
And it's not fair for people to get sick, because they're stuck there. I mean, they are under our care, so we do have to provide actual care for them. You don't
see anything idiotic about this.
Anything idiotic about it?
Yeah, you don't see anything.
If they are violent offenders, they're not releasing violent offenders. They're releasing non-violent offenders.
So,
and
a sex offender is
overfilled, and we already have. Our prisons are already overfilled, and for non-violent offenders, they got a happy day.
All right, go ahead, Jess. Go ahead, Kareem. Sorry, go ahead.
A sex offender is a violent offender. Violation. You violating someone's child, someone's self.
No, I agree.
And they should stay. I have no sympathy for sex.
Hold on, let's not talk over each other.
2 daughters. Yeah, I let you talk on Ellie because this is I know it's we base the topic off of Democratic states, but we still should, pass the politics. Man, come on, man. They lucky that they locked up because imagine if somebody violated my daughter, they'd be probably dead.
All right, go ahead, Natalie.
Kareem, I just said nonviolent offenders. A sex offender is a violent offender, not a nonviolent one. So we agree.
Oh, so you agree with the topic that they should have had stayed in jail even with the coronavirus going around?
If they're a sex offender, yeah, I mean, we're trying our best to do what we can, I just think that the ones that are like weed smokers or profilers, like people like that, and it's a non-violent offense.
All right. So yeah, I love it when you guys when I have Natalie on, because then I could just sit back and let you guys duke it out. Lots of fun. But I didn't know it was gonna be that controversial.
We ended up agreeing at the end.
I thought at the end we should all agree. Okay, sex offenders is a dumb idea. You know what? I don't think we should let any of the offenders out. Period. And I'll tell you why. They did the crime. They do their time. This pandemic comes. It's going to come in waves probably. Later on, you're going to see that the World Health Organization doesn't think this is ever going away. In fact, you know what? Let me go right to that one right now since we're on that. If it's never going to go away, does that mean that people who go to prison will never have to serve their time? Right here. World Health Organization warns coronavirus may never go away and mankind will have to learn to live with it the same way we adjust to HIV. Dr. Mike Ryan, the WHO's Health Emergencies Chief, issued a warning in Geneva. He said on Wednesday, this virus may become just another endemic virus in our communities. This virus will never go away. Basically, it's going to become the seasonal flu. We need to learn how to live with it, maybe find an antiviral, yearly vaccines, what have you. What happens to all the prisoners? They get free game? I mean, you do the crime, you do the time, right?
No, obviously not. They just said that we'd have to adapt to it. This is a new and novel one, and a few of them, have a big lucky day. If sex offenders and violent offenders, even though I would say sex offenders are violent offenders, if I think that they should just stay there. You know, I mean, they're obviously a threat to the community, but people who are smoking a little too much weed, or people who are, you know, or even
100% agree. I think we can all agree right now.
You know,
if you're there after 15 years on one of those crazy life sentences for crack possession or whatever, it's time to let them out. I just watched a documentary on Centonia Brown. She was a girl who got life imprisonment at 16 years old because she was out on a date with a John at 16. She was sex trafficked. Nowadays we'd call her a sex trafficked victim, but she ended up getting a life sentence because she shot the dude. You know, she was 16 when she went in. By the time she was 29, the Republican governor of Tennessee, I believe is Republican, he commuted her sentences to basically time served, 15 years. And she's got a new lease on life. Those people right there are the ones that need to be let out, not people who are newly offended. If you just did the crime, you got to start doing your time, baby. We'll talk your parole time or clemency time, you know, decades later. How's that?
Exactly.
By the way, did anybody else see that? Okay, Samantha saying sex offenders and violent ? Liza Brooks, sex offenders are violent offenders. Laura says they're safer in than out. Maybe that's what the plan is. Man, she's thinking. Any weed offenders out? Samantha says, yes, Nate. Liza, I hope the virus kills sex offenders. They are not rehabilitatable. It is proven that is true, especially pedophiles. Kathleen says, absolutely, Nate. Man, I'm a popular guy. Gordy put a gif up, says, thank you. Yes, I agree. Hey, but I think we can all agree. The war on drugs was a big disaster. It put a lot of people behind, especially a lot of men of color, and most of them after 10 years, they grow up and mature so much in prison anyways. If they had been a model prisoner, it's time to commute all their sentences. First of all, incarceration costs over $40,000 a year per inmate. $40,000 a year. We could get them out of prison and give them a check for the next 3 years while they get back on their feet of $40,000 per year, and it'd still be cheaper and less dangerous than having them in prison.
The crazy part about it is a lot of brothers or African American men, or, you know, probably some Hispanic and white, a lot of them that go to jail for the sales of narcotics that did very well actually come out and become pretty good businessmen. They own properties, trucking companies. They basically small CEOs in their communities, but they're selling the wrong product.
And a lot of this can make me sound like a liberal, and I'm not, but a lot of them just were grown up without a father and no guidance, and they were raised by the streets. And so they took their God-given talent of being an entrepreneur and used it towards the wrong thing.
I mean, sometimes it ain't always like that, because let's go back to the Prohibition days with the Kennedys and all those. The Kennedys are a staple in society as one of the most prominent families in our country. Right. And their father was bootlegger.
Exactly. Yep.
And they end up becoming president. So that has a lot to do with the fatherless households, but I just think it's about supply and demand and opportunity.
It sure is. Dave Adams says, what if you dealt drugs and it killed someone? Well, that's like, all right, that's like saying, okay, I sell alcohol and, somebody gets in a car and kills somebody. It's not my fault that they did not do, what was right. And I'm also, I'm not saying that they should get off. I'm saying that we need to end these mandatory life in prison sentences because they're a waste of time and money. Let's go on to some media bias here. CNN buries its own poll. So, by the way, one of the most expensive things that a newsroom can do is commission a poll, especially a live poll, because they actually have to have people who are trained in collecting responses, and then they call, 1,200 people over the next few days, and, they have statisticians. It's an expensive operation. Well, CNN buried its own poll. And why was that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because although Biden was beating Trump overall nationally, 51-46. By the way, this early on, don't believe any polls, good or bad. And they're doing registered voters, which is stupid because most registered voters don't even go out and vote. But Biden wins. But in the battleground states, 8 states that they consider battleground states, Trump is killing Biden, 52-45. Women are going for Biden, 55-41. Independents are going for Trump, 50-46. Men are going for Trump, 50-46 as well. And the best and most important question going into this election is who will do better on the economy, and Trump swamps Biden 54-42. The poll was conducted May 7th to 10th among a random national sample of 1,112 adults, of which 1,001 were registered voters, and then there was 583 amongst the battleground states. Again, good news for Trump, but don't believe it yet. Here's another thing. Going into elections, nationally, if the Democrat is not up, especially on a registered voter sample, if they're not up by, like, let's say 5, 6, 7 points, they're in trouble because the get out to vote is much stronger on the Republican side. That's pretty good news, though, huh? Pretty sad that they won't even report their own poll.
I mean, it's good news.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah, it's good news depending on who you are. Trump, but I just think this election is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Trump's approval rating of 45% now matches his high point in CNN polling, which that tells you how biased the poll is, because I know that Trump has had better than 45%. What do you got there?
You know, I'm on entrepreneurship. Shout out to Diddy. Ciroc.
Yeah.
Ciroc tonight.
Diddy.
Yeah.
I didn't know he owned that.
Yeah, you didn't know Diddy had Ciroc. You know, I'm on my entrepreneur stuff, you know. So I'm supporting Diddy. Hey, man, but I cannot wait for our shows to air during this election. Man, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it'd be really good.
It's real nasty.
It's good.
Like October on. Oh, man.
Yeah, because people aren't even paying attention right now. They're getting ready to get out of quarantine. I know my wife is itching to get to Myrtle Beach. You know, that's what people are thinking about. They're really going to start thinking about this election come Labor Day and after that. Hey, so this whistleblower came out on TV today. He's some low level guy at the CDC. He said that we're in deep shit. The world is. This is what a whistleblower reveals the mask makers' reaction to federal government's failure to tackle coronavirus, saying that we don't have a plan. So Trump, being Trump, came out with binders saying, "Here's my plan. It's been there all along," and he even showed papers with scribbling on it and all that stuff. So apparently, Trump always has to have the last word. In this case, he should, because he's got to beat narratives of the press. The press is so biased against him, you know. Right. And the Democrats are gonna try to hang this around his neck, because besides the economy, this is the second most important issue on people's mind right now. I think Natalie dropped off.
Yeah, she dropped off. The economy should always be important to the American people. I mean, that's our livelihood.
Hold on. So Liza, I work with Liza, by the way. She wrote Clorox, and she's like, damn it, autocorrect Ciroc, and she loves the Ciroc Peach.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Shout out to Ciroc Peach, and what's the young lady name again?
Liza.
Shout out to Liza.
Yeah, she's awesome. Good coworker. Yeah. Okay, so every time I talk about China, I always try to remind the people, I don't hate Chinese Americans. I don't hate the Chinese people. I hate the Chinese government. I am glad that Trump won. I would vote, honestly, if I didn't agree with anything about Trump, I would vote for him again, just on the fact that he has balls and he takes on China, right? So, come to find out, shock attacks. China is hacking of coronavirus research, threatening hopes of a cure, FBI says. In other words, because they don't have very good scientists over there, apparently. They, and the ones they do, unleash this whole thing by letting it slip out of a lab. They're actually hacking our researchers, trying to get the edge on getting the vaccine first. And, you know, I tell you what. When in the hell are we going to... the rest of the world needs to get on the USA bandwagon, and we just need to... We need to really have a strong talk with Winnie the Pooh there. He's the leader there. In fact, I'll show you this picture again. He looks just like Winnie the Pooh. But
yeah, we looked at China for so many years as a country that wasn't strong and a threat. But slowly they done developed, you know, their economy.
They're smart. They play just like Trump said. Our leaders were so weak. Our leaders are so weak, they played us like a fiddle, and they did. Yeah. They really used us. They would, in order to do business there, we had to transfer our technology to them. We should have never allowed that. Late breaking, I didn't put it on the slides, but late breaking news is that Trump is signing an executive order that certain medications now must be made here in the United States. No more letting China do it. That's my clap right there. Because let me tell you what, we cannot afford to get into another spat with China and China say, you know what, well, maybe we just won't, we'll just block your pharmaceuticals that you guys invented, but you guys make here, we'll block them from coming back into the United States. That is a national security issue, man. What if we went to war What if we went to war with China, and that's very possible that someday we are at war with China, or at least at a skirmish, and all of our life-saving drugs for the battlefield are all being produced over there. What do you think? That's such a disadvantage.
I mean, that's crazy, but I understand it's cheaper for the big companies to outsource their labor to these other countries, but we need to bring all that stuff back. That would help the economy. That'll boost jobs.
And we have lower cost states that they can make them in and keep manufacturing low, all through the South, Puerto Rico. In fact, U.S. drugs used to be manufactured in Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico needs the economic boost. We can make them in Guam. We can make them, we can make them in just friendlier countries. Why not India? India is never, they're never going to go to war with us. They like us. What about, even Vietnam or some of these other places that we can make them? Why are we picking our biggest adversary to make our drugs? Crazy. Absolutely stupid.
Real quick. I know it's a little bit off the topic.
Sure.
What happened to the automotive industries in Detroit and Motown? I know that they were booming for one point, and then they shut down. And a lot of people lost jobs, and the whole city just.
Well, yeah, that's because of unions. The unions destroyed. UAW destroyed, and I come from the UAW stronghold, Flint, Michigan. UAW just really destroyed quality, and GM, Ford, and Chrysler did not put a price on quality. And then when globalization happened in the 1980s, and it was cheaper to ship cars from Japan over here, the Japanese kicked our butts. In fact, my sister Natalie, who just dropped off, she was talking about it, and I said, "Hey, some of the best cars I ever owned were Japanese, Asian cars."
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, I have a Chevy Silverado truck. I love my pickup truck. I'll never buy a foreign pickup truck because it's just not right to me. But I've had problems with it. Little problems. My father-in-law, Dave, he was on this show. He bought a brand new Ford this year, and it's already had to go in the shop 3 times because his check engine light's on and it's sputtering. And it's got less than 10,000 miles on it. I mean, it's.
So we got to clean our house, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, we got to fix our backyard. We need to get manufacturing back here. And it's getting better. The auto industry is getting better even with the UAW, but the UAW, they're just a big hack, a political hack, and they're corrupt as hell. We've proven that we don't need an auto union because we got great paying jobs down in the South where Nissan is, Mercedes and all them. They're all in the South.
All foreign companies, though.
Yeah, but they make great cars right here in the United States, and they've tried to unionize them, and they vote down the union every time because they just take good. You know what? That's GM, Ford, and Chrysler's fault. If you treat your employees right and do it all the time, even in bad times like now, they'll never go to a union. They will never go to a union because they don't need to. My uncle's right now timing in. I'm a union member, but I have to say UAW gave unions a bad name. I agree. I am sorry to all the unions because the Carpenters Union, great union. IBEW, great union. The trade unions are really good unions.
The trade unions are really good. My brother's he does heat and air conditioning out there.
There you go. Yeah, journeyman unions are awesome.
Journeyman, yeah.
Yep, and they make sure that you have pay in between jobs and stuff, and they, good
benefits.
For the most part, they are good unions. But I think my uncles and my grandfather were in the sheet metal union. So that's it. All right, moving on. Sorry.
Go ahead. I just wanted to give you that because.
It's good, man. That's a great thing about a live show. We can talk about it's our show, man. We can talk about whatever the hell we want, right?
Yeah, I feel you. Let's keep pushing, man.
All right, GOP victories. Tonight, man. You're not hearing about this in the mainstream media. On Monday, 538, which is a polling group, said, "Oh man, these 2 special elections coming out on Tuesday could hint at another blue wave." Then we heard crickets. I'm like, wait, I haven't heard the results of this. This should be everywhere. Guess what? They were both won by Republicans, suggesting that, hey, there will be not another blue wave, this thing. In fact, it might be a red wave. In fact, one of these guys flipped a blue seat in California to Republican side. So that's an actually good news story, but now it is crickets. Let me tell you what, had this happened the other way around and both those seats went to Democrats or any seats were flipped to Democrats, man, they'd be all over every political news story on MSNBC, even Fox News and CNN. But because it went from blue to red, you don't hear anything about it.
Yeah, I sent the tweet that you put out earlier today or yesterday evening about Trump giving a shout out to Wisconsin and California. Uh-huh. Yeah, I like that, man.
I like Wisconsin too. Wisconsin just they had a judge that their Supreme Court overruled their Democrat governor's stay-at-home order, and they showed pictures of the bars last night and they were packed. Now, When we
Wisconsin
live,
like to drink, man. You know about that part of the map.
That's a beer. That's a beer capital of the United States.
You know how they do it up there.
Yeah,
you know how they do it up there, man. Hey, shout out to Wisconsin, man.
Yeah, we used to live right by Wisconsin, anyway. Hey, Wisconsin, all these states that are opening up. The next thing, I'm just going to warn everybody now. If you're listening or you're watching this on replay, the media is going to start noticing the rise in COVID cases. Yes, as we come off lockdown, there's going to be a rise in cases. Does not mean that there'll be a rise in deaths, because we now have a better idea what to do about it. What we need to do, and what we should have done all along, is what Sweden was doing. We should have never locked down, and we should have put away the vulnerable people, locked them in the house, feed them through the door, or whatever you got to do, and we should have kept this economy humming because it was doing great. Now we've got 30 million people unemployed, and we're in a lot of trouble. We're not seeing the effects of it yet, but we are, as a nation, in a lot of trouble because this economy has gone from a 3% unemployment to about probably going to get up to 15 to 25%. Something we haven't seen since the 1920s and 30s during the Great Depression.
Oh man, this economy was it was booming, man. It was so much money, it was flowing so well, but we had an unknown enemy. We didn't know exactly how or what was going on and how it was going to affect us. And yeah, we overreacted, but now we overreacted to the point. How do we restart? What do we do?
That's where Trump is important. Trump might be a bloviating idiot sometimes. He might say some stupid stuff. In fact, I love Trump. Like I've always said, just take his phone away between the hours of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., right? Take it away. Don't let him go to the bathroom with it, right? Don't let him lock behind closed doors and start tweeting because he said some stupid stuff in the middle of the night. But when it comes to getting this economy rolling, he knows what to do. He's a businessman. And you should be his on his staff there, Hood Samaritan CEO.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I'm all about economy, big money, big business, capitalism. Let's get it.
You got to.
You know, I'm messing with Trump.
Because nobody's going to buy your clothes if they don't have money to buy them, right?
Exactly. So
the engine of our growth. Engine of our growth is small business. Hey, speaking of small businesses taking advantage of the COVID-19 thing, restaurant slammed for COVID-19 surcharge on meal. And there's a receipt on the screen. Now, at first I'm like, what were you thinking? But I can kind of understand where they're coming from. So let's listen to the whole story. The owners of a Missouri restaurant are pleading with people online to stop harassing their employees after a customer posted a photo of the receipt that showed she was charged a COVID-19 surcharge for a meal. The customer posted the photo of the receipt from Kiko Japanese Steakhouse and Sushi Lounge in West Plains, Missouri on May 11th, writing in slang, "Excuse me, what, a COVID surcharge?" The owners of a Missouri restaurant are pleading. I just put that there twice on accident. So basically what it came down to is they're saying, hey, look, because of the meat shortage, because of COVID-19, the meat prices have gone up by 8%. Mm-hmm. And so with that 8% rise, they can either raise all their prices on their menu, or for a limited time, they were going to do a COVID-19 surcharge. So what they should have done is come out and explained it a lot better, because a lot of people were like, hey, man, you're lucky you get to even stay open. A lot of businesses can't stay open. Who cares about your food prices? Raise the price a little bit if you need to by, a couple cents each. I mean, what's 8% of $5.50, right? If something costs $5.50, 10% would be what, 55 cents extra?
Yeah.
Just raise the price, man. I know what they were doing. It was a good intention. Hey, we didn't want to permanently raise our price. But man, when you do something like that and you don't get out in front of it, it just makes your whole business look bad. It's just bad marketing.
But sometimes it's not always good business. I get it from, because I'm an entrepreneur myself. But I also been out here in Florida, and I've been through 3 hurricanes. And when we get a hurricane about 2 weeks before it's supposed to hit, they price gouge. The gas goes up. A pack of water costs $10. I remember right when we started doing the lockdown for the hurricane. For the coronavirus. I went to CVS and got a case of water, and they charged me $10 for it.
Yeah.
So people are gonna take advantage of the opportunity. Gas is
well,
$10.
What they're definitely going to do is they're not going to run any specials. Specials are meant to get you to buy something that maybe, like they're to get you in the store and stuff. But if everybody's needing something, they're not going to run specials.
Hell no, they don't give a damn.
At Walmart, I found these gloves when they finally got gloves in, because everybody was wearing gloves, and they're charging them $14.95 for a pack of the gloves. You know, and that's Walmart. They're supposed to be the cheap place.
No, hey, Walmart was the spot during quarantine. Still is a spot, like a mall.
Sure is. There, man. It is. I know. Willie and I did that a couple times where we went to Walmart or Target because we were just that bored, man. We're like,
Walmart be jumping, man. Shout out to Walmart, baby.
And Target.
And Target, Central employee.
The Central, baby. Hey, so this dude actually got karate to work for him. You know, most people that do karate, they even if they're a black belt, a lot of times they just get their ass whooped. It doesn't really work. You know what I'm saying?
That's how like us at basic training, man. They teach us that 1 week self-defense that we go downtown. Yeah, not me myself. I got sent. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They try to basic self-defense moves.
Let me show this video here. The one time that karate actually worked. All right. Hold tight. The dude.
I'm sorry.
Woo! Watch that roundhouse kick. He does a liver kick. Oh, man. All right. So, it worked for a minute. But then the dude went back and got a stick. And here's part 2 of the video that another neighbor, apparently everybody was recording this fight on the street. And he came out with a stick. And actually, he came out with a stick and got his ass whipped again. But
shit.
Look, he's hitting him. Tries a karate kick, falls.
Oh my god, Adina.
He did get the stick from him, though.
Cops, I don't know. Adina, your car.
Here's a replay, apparently.
Oh. Oh my god, Adina.
Oh my god. Hey, shout out to you. Hey, if you spent all those years in karate and it actually worked, shout out. Because I've seen a lot of people try karate on people and get their ass totally handed to them by a wrestler.
Hey, the funny part about this is I've seen the other side of that. Yeah, a wrestler will take you down and, you know, it's ground and pound. But I was at the movie theaters when I was a kid in high school, man, and with one of my homies, I forgot what movies going to see. And he cut the line of a couple of guys that was in the front of us. And, you know, we got into a little confrontation. And the dude broke down the karate kick, and my partner was like, hey, what up, man? And the dude kicked my homeboy, knocked my homeboy out, man, with a little kick, man. And, you know, it went from there. But, hey, wow. Shout out to my black belts out there, the real black belts.
The real black one. Yeah, the real black belts. Hey, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but you better be damn good at it if you're going to try karate, because it's been proven that if you get into it with a wrestler and he doesn't get knocked out by your kick and he gets to the ground, you're done. You know, it's not like, I mean, I watched the Karate Kid as a kid. We all want to be a black belt.
I spent 5 years in wrestling. I already know.
Whitney says, I'm dead. He did the hammer hit. That was a hammer hit.
Hey.
The karate chop.
Hey, man. 5 years. That's why I said ground and pound a motherfucker.
That's it. Ground pound, man. That's how you do it.
I told my wife.
That's called hook fighting.
Like three or four punches. If you ain't knocked about 3 or 4 punches, you better be in shape.
You better. Yeah, because it's exhausting too. One time in Gilroy, California, there was like this cardio karate class going on, cardio kickboxing. I was like, I'm not doing that. So that's for wimps, man. Man, I did that for 45 minutes. I couldn't move afterwards. I was dead, sore, every part of my body. Hey, mouthwash. Mouthwash could actually protect you against COVID-19 by destroying the outer layer of fat. So viruses are surrounded by fat, and it kills the outer layer of their fat, and which is used to bind. It's used, the layer of fat is so that they can bind to human cells, what scientists are suggesting. Now, the WHO, because, you know, they have to contradict everything. They said, that doesn't work.
Hold on before you finish this one right here, because we don't need no clips of us on CNN like Trump talking about drinking disinfectant.
We're talking about mouthwash. You're supposed to spit it out, liberals, okay? We're not saying swallow. Okay. We're not saying use bleach. We're talking about scope, okay, liberals? Scope.
I can hear Don Lemon right now. They said drink mouthwash.
He said to swallow. He swallowed it.
Mouthwash. Republicans.
So it's saying, hey, try it out. it might, before you go out, if you swoosh, a few times a day, maybe you kill the virus and you won't transmit it out. Eliza says 5'4" of her can do a mean roundhouse. Okay, when we get back to work, I got to see this roundhouse, Eliza.
Oh shit!
All right, Mexican cartel boss. Oh, I love this. Every night I try to find a karma story if I can find them. I love karma.
Yeah.
Last night it was a group of kids that beat down this poor 15-year-old in Brooklyn for her Jordans, and then the kid got shot later. Don't want kids to get shot, but if they are,
man, that's some extreme ass karma.
Listen to this one. So the Mexican cartel boss in prison for beheading 12 people dies of coronavirus. Love it. That's karma. Okay, that's it. You get.
God damn, man! All your karma end in death.
Hey, that's karma, man. He beheaded 50. He beheaded 12 people. Okay, he actually got a pretty decent death besides a beheading. He just choked to death.
I know, but you got to understand though.
He was.
You can't really understand. That's part of their. That's their
thing. No, man.
That's their lifestyle, man. They
entrepreneurship.
Man.
You said it right. That's
enterprise, baby.
That's big entrepreneurship. That's supply chain entrepreneurship. Yeah. Los Zetas leader Moises Escamilla May, known as Gordo May or Fatty May, died in prison in Jalisco, where he was serving 37 years for his brutal crimes. Can you believe he only got 37 years for beheading 12 people? And that was it. If he was fat, then that's the underlying condition that probably killed him right there. My uncle said, Jeffrey Lincoln says, "Oh, great, Nate. Now we won't be able to find mouthwash now." And Samantha says, "Going to get mouthwash first thing in the morning." I know now.
I told you, man.
This show ain't that big yet.
We're going to be on CNN tonight. We're going to be on CNN tonight, man. Dial Lemon.
Hey, shout out to Nightcaps and Nate and Kareem if we do make it to CNN, okay? That means we made it, buddy. Oh, speaking of cartels, a paralegal for the U.S. District Attorney's Office accused of tipping off the Mexican cartel, a paralegal who worked for federal prosecutors in Tejas, Texas, was busted for tipping off a Mexican drug cartel to her boss's investigations. Jennifer Loya, who worked in the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Texas in San Antonio, was hit with multiple federal charges. They figured something out because they went to go do a search warrant on a gang member, a drug trafficker, and everything was gone and stuff. And they're like, no, there's got to be something wrong because somebody was tipping them off. So they started checking in, and this FBI agents believe the paralegal helped out a drug cartel is linked to her sister, Kimberly Loya's husband, Roland Bustamante, who was deported to Mexico, but he allegedly still continued to serve Israel Fernandez Vasquez, who was a leader in the Cartel de Noreste. The complaint said they learned that there was a possible mole when they went to make a drug trafficking arrest in May 2019 in San Antonio, and the guy was gone. So, don't tip off.
Don't surprise
whose side are you on, woman? Come on.
Hey, man, that don't surprise me, man. Them cartels got billions and billions of dollars, man.
They
Money
do.
Talk.
Hey,
and the salary she was probably making, where she was working at, they should have probably knew the car she was driving, where she lived, to know that she was working for them.
Hey, isn't that what we always looking for in the military when we're checking those spy classes? If a private's all of a sudden showing up in a brand new Mercedes, something's not right.
He had PT formation. He dropping out of a 911 Porsche.
Yep. Something ain't right.
Only making $1,000. The CID be on you so quick.
Yeah, somebody's on you. So you know who El Chapo is, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy who's serving in our prison now because his name was Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. Well, he had an enforcer in California, citizen. Because at first I was like, how was this guy out on probation? But an El Chapo enforcer disappears in California 2 months after release. A feared enforcer of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman's cartel, who previously had plastic surgery once to evade capture, has gone missing in California. Just 2 months after his release. Boy, if you're a snitch, I know you're in hiding now. You are in hiding. This guy.
But they don't know. He went missing after he got released from prison.
Yeah, so he was on probation and didn't show up for his probation things, and so he's
but they
gone.
don't know. They don't know who got. But the Guzman. I don't know. He was in the Juarez cartel, one of them cartels down there. But they got rivals down there. All those different, Tijuana, all the different cartels. So they could have.
They might have snatched him up. Yeah. Maybe
from
they
another
did it.
cartel that snatched him up. So ain't no telling where he at.
Or maybe he mentioned something to law enforcement and El Chapo had another enforcer get him. You never know. But Jose Rodrigo Archiga Gamboa, known as El Chino Anthrax, which stands for, or which means in English, the Chinese anthrax. Apparently he looks Chinese. Doesn't look that Chinese to me. Was supposed to be under federal supervision for the next 5 years after his release March 3rd, but he was missing when a probation officer went to his new home for a scheduled check-in on Wednesday, as were all his belongings, except for a cell phone, the paper said, citing court documents. So, yeah, if his belongings are gone, then he took off. Gamboa, whom prosecutors previously held as one of the highest-ranking Sinaloa cartel kingpins ever prosecuted in the United States, has a record of taking extreme steps to evade capture. When he was busted in Amsterdam in 2013, he was using a fake passport and had significant plastic surgery as well as attempts to alter his fingerprints, prosecutors said. So, if you are watching and you know where this guy is, don't call me because I don't want to know anything about it, man. I don't want to be any part. Call Kareem.
Hell no. Don't call me shit. Call the police.
Call your local law enforcement. Please do not.
Yeah. Shit.
I don't want to know anything about it. I want my family to live, okay? I got guns, so don't try to come up in my house, but they got like machine guns and stuff.
Yeah, I'm straight.
All right, so we've heard about the murder hornets. But killer bees are still here.
They're still kicking. The murder hornet is still kicking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I thought
sure
the praying mantis got them.
The praying mantis. I hope so. But killer bees are in Florida, where you are, buddy. This is for you.
I already know. That's what I'm trying to tell
Aggressive
you.
swarm.
When you first talked about it, I knew this was coming.
Aggressive swarm of killer bees fatally attacks 3 family dogs. So they went after the dogs. The fire department came out like crazy fast. They tried to spray this foam on them. Amber says Baskin's bees. And it didn't really work. Dogs are dead. But, this didn't happen. This happened in Tucson, not in Florida. Tucson, Arizona, buddy. You're safe for now. But I've heard that they're in Florida, Texas.
We got love bugs here though.
Okay, but they don't kill your they don't kill your dog. Is that a real thing?
They kill the paint of your car though.
Yes,
love bugs are real, man. They'll tear up the paint of your car, man. You ever had to get a new paint job because dead love bugs? It's pretty expensive.
Love bugs? What are love bugs? I thought love
bugs are real, man.
I thought love bugs are the same thing as like ladybugs.
This is love bug season right now. They're everywhere, man. They're everywhere. And they hump in the air.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah,
they're everywhere. And then you driving down the street and they smash to the front of your car. You took a long road trip and you get home to where your destination and you got all these bugs in the front of your car. Just driving to my neighbor house, I got bugs in front of my car.
Yeah, he said they're big in the Gulf Coast. It's also known as honeymoon fly or double-headed bug. During after mating, matured pairs remain together even in flight for up to several days, man.
Yeah, we in love bug season right now. They everywhere.
And they just bang it out for 3 or 4 days.
Bang it out. They bang it out right on your head. If we had love bugs outside, we was outside right now, love bugs to come land on your head and just start banging on your head.
Dude, man. I thought I was going a long time for 20 minutes. Them things go for like,
man, they go hard in the paint, man. They bang all night. You can knock them down, they still banging.
Still banging. Horny bugs.
Yeah, horny bugs.
Yep. Dave Adams used to live down in Georgia. He said, yes, love bugs will mess your car up. See, that's why I'm staying up in West Virginia, man. None of this stuff happens. We don't have killer bees. We don't have any of that stuff. We're far enough away from D.C. so we're not all crazy. Yeah, we got to wait a little bit longer for good weather. I am jealous of that, but we don't have all that stuff. We don't have hurricanes, don't have tornadoes.
So you selling everybody in West Virginia now.
Elijah says, "Oh no, I'm out. I love Florida, but I cannot with those things."
The love bug season is popping right now, man.
We have stink bugs. They come up and they get up on your. They come into the house if you're not careful during the fall, and they'll be on your things, but. But they only stink if you kill them. So what you do is you trap them because they're really stupid and slow. And you trap them and you put them in like dish soap, and that's what happens to them. But yes,
that's what y'all got in West Virginia.
Yeah, stink bugs, but they're not that bad. It's better than killer bees and murder hornets. At least my dog is safe. Listen to this nastiness, man. This is disgusting. If you've seen this lady, you can report her to local law enforcement as well. Georgia woman squeezed a bottle filled with feces and urine through a Taco Bell drive-thru window before throwing the container at staff. for no apparent reason. Okay? Deputies from the Richmond County Sheriff's Department responded to the Taco Bell on Peach Orchard Road in Augusta around 11:45. An employee said that when they opened the window, she started spraying urine and feces all at him and threw the bottle at him. So they're out there trying to find him. That's disgusting, bro. I mean, for what? It's already boring sitting at your home, so you go to Taco Bell to, you're done being food bored. You just want something to eat, and now the Taco Bell has to close because some girl has some sick fetish with shit and piss. It's gross.
Man. Taco Bell meat look like shit any damn way. I don't even eat at Taco Bell no damn way.
You don't eat at Taco Bell? I'm addicted to Taco Bell, especially if I've been drinking.
I've been on the West Coast too long, man. They got Del Taco. They got
okay, but what do you got? What do you got in Florida now?
Man, Florida, I got my own
Taco Bell
at the house. I got my wife, man. She hook it up.
But sometimes
El Pollo Loco.
Sometimes El Pollo Loco that's not down there, is it?
No, it ain't. I'm just saying, shout out to the West Coast. After you know how it is in California. They got the real street tacos.
Yeah.
The real carne asada.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have my friend Jonathan. He brings me some carne asada. He made some over here, man. Some real carne asada on the grill.
Man, come on. After you eat that, you can't mess with no Taco Bell no more. Matter of fact, in California, if you say, the Mexican, you say that Taco Bell is Mexican food, man, you might be like El Chapo bodyguard. We might have to find
one. I'm with Liza. Taco Bell is delicious sometimes. Sometimes you're just in the mood for it. Hey, who's been homeschooling in your house? You or your wife?
What, homeschool as a child?
Yeah, your kid's not going to school, right?
Oh, yeah. Who's controlling my wife, she's controlling the classroom.
Yeah, does she like it? You're the principal? She's the teacher, you're the principal. Got it. Hey, 40% of families are more likely to homeschool when this pandemic ends. I think you're crazy, man.
Hell no.
I have a newfound love for school teachers. A newfound love. I could not. And mine's easy, man. I got them on like these online classes on Khan Academy or whatever, and I only make them go for 3 hours a day. They got to learn German, math, and biology, and then they do 30 minutes of like some sort of exercise outside or downstairs, like gym, right? And that's it. And that's a pain in the butt for me, man. I couldn't imagine doing that full time. No way. Amber says nope.
Yeah, Florida got this system called ASB and iReady, but it's still super complicated, navigating through the system with a bunch of kids, a lot of people doing it at the same time. But I just think my kids need to go to school.
Amber said she said she'd send them back to today if they would let her.
Damn
she don't care about coronavirus. Samantha, she raised her hand, but does that mean that she is going to homeschool after, or she's just the homeschool teacher right now? Go ahead and clarify there. I'm fed up with it, buddy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think that they said more people are drinking, more adults are drinking. I think this is part of it. Trying to be a homeschool teacher, and then I'm telling you, it's got to contribute to my idea of having nightcaps at night.
Oh, hell no.
Whitley's lucky. She still gets to work outside the home. She works at the VA medical center, so she doesn't have to do a lot of this stuff. So I get stuck doing it.
Yeah, my wife handled most of it. I'm just the disciplinarian, when they don't sign in class on time and things like that, they gotta come see the principal. But I think school is important, man.
They gotta come see the principal. Hey, they still out spankings at your school?
Hell yeah. Spankings,
timeout, pull hair, whatever you gotta do. Samantha says she has a few strong callings and teaching isn't one of them. And Amber says, I give no F's about this virus. I agree with you. Send them. They're healthy. Unless they get that. Have you seen that? What's that virus that they're getting? The Kawasaki or something virus that these Corona kids are getting? That's some nasty stuff, but.
I heard it was like 20 or 30 cases in New York. And I heard they have more cases like that. They just didn't report it.
Oh, Elijah says, I saw the funniest meme that said what all mothers want for Mother's Day, and it's a mom waving to her kids getting on the bus. I agree.
No, my wife, I'm very surprised because prior to my kids being stay at home for school, I used to help them with their homework when I got off, and I interacted with them. But since she done a very good job with them, helping them, and they on point. The first 2 weeks of it though, it was kind of rough.
Somebody's trying to get laid.
So I had to discipline my. I had to discipline my teacher and my students.
And
but we on point right now.
Leadership. Hey.
Yeah, we on point now.
So, for all you mothers out there that breastfeed, I know what you go through when you first have a baby and, your nipples feel raw and, this is nature. We're not laughing. We're not trying to be gross. This is nature, right? Well, this Afghan mother.
Nature Nate.
Afghan mother is breastfeeding 20 newborns at a maternity ward where ISIS gunmen slaughtered babies and their parents. Feroza Yunus Omar is feeding babies who lost their mothers in a gun attack. I'm not a doctor, but how in the heck do you make enough milk for 20 babies? You must be a calorie-burning machine because you are eating and eating and eating, trying to produce enough milk. And can you imagine? She must have ironclad nipples, man. Or she has like that utter... like when they milk cows, they have like, I don't know. I didn't grow up in the, I grew up in the city, but apparently they have stuff that they put on the udders. I don't know how to milk a cow.
Right.
I mean, she has to be doing something because that's 20 babies sucking on her nips, man.
Man, that's God, man. That's nature. Nature Nate. There you go.
Bro.
That was the topic. Nature Nate.
Okay, Amber says you supply what you need. Kathleen, I was wondering where the hell you were going with that. Samantha, in all seriousness, Henry has a weak immune system. If Duran was going to choose online learning, we were going to homeschool 1 year. Yeah, but Duran is returning in the fall. I think the weak immune system better get him some vitamin D or something because I wouldn't keep him. I'm like, sorry, kid. Don't breathe on anybody. But going back to the breastfeeding, man. Nobody has 20 babies at one time. Not even Octomom. Remember Octomom? She only had 8.
Yeah.
So how in the heck do you fill up enough milk for 20 babies? You would have to feed a baby because they're hungry every 2 or 3 hours, right? And that's 20 kids every 3 hours that you're feeding. So you're constantly feeding.
Nature Nate. That's just nature, man. That's some stuff we can't explain.
Okay. So Laura, who's a nurse, says the more a woman nurses, the more she produces. Okay. So what happens when you cut off this and you don't need it anymore? You talk about engorge. You know how it's very painful.
Yeah. But women could still lactate up to probably a year after they stop breastfeeding because the body knows the child is still there. Because
when they hear it cry, they hear it cry.
In recruiting, I sent women to MEPS before, and they were disqualified because they were still lactating, and then they'll come back and be like, "Hey, I haven't breastfeeding in like a year," but because they're still, it's just the human nature of the body. They body still produce breast milk.
Yeah.
So,
I mean it's Afghan. Samantha says, "Well, I wonder if they're supplementing, with formula," but I don't want to. I mean, first of all,
breast milk is good though.
First of all, to all the ladies,
shout out to Afghan, man. Breast milk is good.
You drink breast milk?
No.
You liar.
It's good for you.
It's good for
all
you.
my kids been breastfeeding.
Hey, by the way, for all the people who are just joining us, they're like, man, this is kind of creepy. 2 dudes talking about this. My sister was on the show, but she dropped off due to technical issues. So this was a pre-planned story all along. Hey, that is actually going to be our show for the night. I know it ended a little bit early, but tomorrow night. Oh, not tomorrow. So starting this week, we probably aren't going to. First of all, congrats again to TK_Poison on winning the $100 drawing. Thanks for getting us to over 1,500 likes and follows. Remember to like, follow, and share Nightcaps and Nate on Facebook. Subscribe also on our YouTube channel. All replays of this will be on YouTube every night. Tomorrow we're not going to have a show. Saturday I'm thinking about doing just an hour-long special on media bias that I put together. If you want to watch it, great. If not, it's going to get recorded anyways. And Sunday, of course, we don't have a show, so I will see everybody back here 9 p.m. Monday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your support. Talk to you then.
This has been Nightcaps with Nate. Please join Nate for a nightcap every weeknight at 9 Eastern here on Facebook Live.
Peace.